What's going on there? Going on, everybody? And today's a pretty cool one. What I'm gonna do is, I got a lot of stuff to show off, and I'm like, you know what? I'm a big fan of this series, and I was like, you know what? Might as well show it off because I'm gonna be updating each thing because I'm getting this. I want to start a pretty cool collection, but not a big fucking collection. There's a limit of what I'm gonna do with this. So I'm not gonna go full on. There are plenty of other people who have huge collections. I'm just showing off my collections and then the ones and the stuff that I'm gonna be getting in the near future. So I don't even know where to start up. You know what? The first thing I'm actually gonna show off, which I'm really cool about this, is I'm just gonna show off, the Dragon Balls, which I thought is just really amazing. And yeah, all of them are there. Look at that. So yeah. I'm gonna start off with this, something light and friendly, and then get into it because this is, I have all this stuff. This seems like this is the one only, because multiple other ones have a lot of stuff. But yeah, cool to have all 7 Dragon Balls, which is really cool. Let's get that started. The shirt. This is my wife's shirt. I got it for her. It's a memory of, the creator. So it was just like, this is something that was cool. I remember seeing it. I was just like, you know what? I want to get that. So might as well get that. All right, let's get on to the next thing. I don't know. Okay, fine. The games. We're gonna do the games. Start off with Let's go with the Super Famicom one. This is Dragon Ball Z Super Saiyan. It's pretty much an RPG card game, and it's okay. It's old school RPG, very much card playing game. Choose what you want to defend with the power of each card, and hopefully it comes out really good. Not bad. Little small RPG. Next, while we're continuing on. Where is it? Okay, so let's do this one. That's 2. Okay. Dragon Ball Z Bukoden #1. It's not my favorite. It's hard, but if I get better at it, that's the thing. But it is a pretty good fighting game. It's not my favorite in the series. The ones that are coming up are gonna be ones. But yeah, this one is a really fun one, but it's hard. Next one, everybody's favorite, and I left it in. Super Boten 2. I'm so butchering these names. This one's fun. It has a cool story, and it kind of has this kind of thing to it where it tells a story even if you fail or not. It'll continue going on, and sorry, I was laughing. My dog is throwing a sock all around. Where was I? Yeah, so this is a pretty fun one. The story continues even if you fail or not. It's different. It goes from the Cell Saga to, I guess, BoJack Unleashed. And if there's a way, you could go into the, to Broly's story, which is pretty good. You just gotta, do a certain path to it. But yeah, it is fun, and in a way, people are like I always say that I'm pretty sure that BoJack Unchained. It seems like it should be canon. I'm gonna have a lot of people that are gonna find me on that, but it kind of made sense. It could make sense in a way. There's that 24-hour period after Cell, and you never know. They might be tired, but they're just like, you know what? Fine, let's do a nice fine well tournament. To go to this island. Have a little fun before Trunks leaves. It could happen. I'm just saying, it could happen. It could not. Who knows? In my way, I think it happens. It happens. It could happen. But whatever I'm saying, fun game, very good one. Next one, is got a physical copy of it. No manual. I think I had the manual. No, I think my daughter has the picture. She loves this. She loves this cover. She has it literally. She loves this cover. Yeah. Super Bukoden 3. pretty much takes place during the Buu Saga, obviously, and all that stuff. I guess the game is right here. So, it's fun. It doesn't have a story, but in a way, you could, like I said, you could make a story out of this. Starting with, Gotenks and Trunks, get in there to fight. If you know how to do it, play as Trunks, let him win. Then go into Babbidi's lair. No. Do not Babbidi's lair, because you don't have not the fuck his name is. The Supreme Kai's friend. I forget. I fucked up the names. But yeah, instead of him, go Gohan versus Supreme Kai. You could do that in a way. Just imagine, okay, what if story? You could make your own story out of it. Do that. Alright, somebody's powerful. Go to Babbidi's lair. Fight, Gohan versus Dabura, because you can't fight the other ones. You can't have Goku fighting this fucking. Oh god, I messed up the names. But you can't do that. But you could tell of the limits. So you can have Gohan versus Dabura. Get that done. Hit go. Then do like a cutback. Make a story about it. It's continuing on. So with Dabura, then goes back to the tournament, having Android 18, and I know it's supposed to be Mighty Mass and a battle royale against Android 18, but let's make it a little bit different. Let's say Android 18 and Trunks. They're allowing the kids to enter the tournament as well. So do your own story with it. Android 18 versus Trunks. Trunks loses. Android 18 is the victory. She wins. There's no Mr. Saiyan, so she could have won the tournament. But then make it out that Goku and Vegeta are gonna fight on that stadium. I mean, they don't. I mean, technically Vegeta blows it up, but they kind of. But you can make that out. Make it out like, no, we're not gonna fight here. Let's go fight somebody else or somewhere else. Get that, Goku versus Vegeta fight. Boom, boom, boom. All of a sudden, the sign of the trigger, as being Vegeta, he's gonna do his thing and go fight Buu. Play as Buu. Yes, he does sacrifice himself, but you need a kind of victory. So in a way, you have Buu blow him up. Blew up. Just have Buu win. Alright. Vegeta died. Then do the final one against Buu versus Goku. Have Goku win. Boom. You can tell a story with it if you do it right. But I'm going on. I just did a whole damn review with that. Maybe I should do a review with that. Alright. More games. Alright. Dragon Ball Z Bukoden. It's a fun game. This one's a little bit different than the other ones. I don't have them yet. That will be soon, but I don't have them yet. This is a fun one. It only goes up to the Cell Saga, but it has some really cool what ifs. Like, this is the birth of all this stuff. This is the birth of it, in my opinion. And I enjoy it. It's fun. It has that very old school fighting. It's fun. That's what I'll give it. Now, and yes, it is in there, manual and everything. Not a bad game. It had a poster, but my daughter has the poster for it. Fun game. It goes up to the Cell Saga. It has some stuff that's cut out, but then I was like you could have done this, but I get it. They maybe just they did this kind of thing at this, but you could have done a complete story, like I was saying with the other one. You could have had a really good story, continuing on with it, they continued on doing that throughout the whole series, so it is continuing on. So yeah, of how each game coming up, it does get it better, but they could have done a pretty good story of putting all the characters, but I get it, more value out of a game to unlock stuff, do the what ifs and all that stuff. This is, the birth of it, in my opinion, is pretty good. Yes, you got those, the Famicom versions of the games, but a lot of people didn't play them till now. But yeah, this is fun. Next one is Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse. Not bad. I feel like this one isn't as good as the second one. There's a reason why they're still making DLC for that game. And it's really good. It's not as good as number 2. They did some mechanics that are different in the second one, but this one is really, really good. And yeah, it is in there. It's not as good. I'm still working playing this one, but it just feels like not as good as the sequel. And I love the sequel. I beat that game. I think put like 40 hours into it. But I don't have a physical copy of that one. I think my goal is to get physical copies of a lot of them. So down the line, I will have physical copies of the Dragon Ball stuff. But stay tuned for that. Next is one of the greatest, fighting games in my opinion. And it's so much. I remember playing this when it first came out. I didn't have, the system we had at the time. I didn't have one. I had I think it was, when did this come out? I think I had an Xbox One. Yeah, I had an Xbox One. So, but friends of ours, had a PlayStation 4, and we were always over at their house. And I used to just go over there and just buy games, and we would play them. And we would play a lot of fighting games, but this one was like the big one at the time, and it still is, and it's really fun. And it is Dragon Ball Z Fighters. I don't have the case for it, but I don't have the cover for it because they just gave it to me like this, and I said that's fine, whatever. Fun game. My daughter really likes it. I love it. A lot of my friends, we all love it. It's really different, really good and competitive fighting game. And yeah, that's about it for all the games at the moment. But stay tuned for updates and all that stuff. Let's do the figures because I feel like we're gonna do all the figures. Number one is is Majin Buu. Very beautiful, beautiful figure of it. It's really cool. I don't know, but it's really cool. I love this figure. It's like probably one. This is my wife. She loves it. She loves the Buu. This is her favorite character. So yeah, and I love this one. It looks so beautiful. My only concern is this head gets really loose sometimes and likes to fall off so many times. So, but yeah, Majin Buu. Beautiful. I went to this place. It was like a toy store and all this stuff. And so the guy's wife is, an artist, and she does wood stuff. And even the husband does wood stuff. And he made this beautiful figure. And it's so beautiful. And I should have got the other one. And hopefully it's there. I just have to go get it. But this is such a beautiful figure. And I love it. It is, almost dropped it. But yeah, this is a really detailed figure from back to front. I was like, look at the detail on this thing. The guy makes some pretty good stuff. He's, you go in there, it's just very detailed stuff. I remember he used to have this small stand in the mall, but now he has a full-on store, which is a really cool thing. And it's just like, yeah, but look at how beautiful this is. Yeah, let's continue on. One of the most beautifulest things. And yeah, and it's Goku, of the Halo after he, defeated, the Cell Saga. But I feel like this is more memorial toward, the passing of him now, the creator, Akira Toriyama. So, but yeah, look at the detail. I know everyone complains that it looks like mashed potatoes on the bottom, but it works for what it is. It is such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful picture or figure. I love it. But yeah, let's continue on. Okay, I got Broly. The stand right here. I had the stand right here when I was doing it. There we go. Let's put the stand on. Put the stand on it. Hold on. There you are. This is a heavy statue. Oh, don't worry, just go among yourselves right now while I picture it. But yeah, this, Broly. Ooh. The detail of this thing is pretty cool. And yeah. Obviously from the Dragon Ball Broly movie. Not the one that is legendary, but obviously that. The new one, which I like people debate of like, oh, which is better, like classic Broly or modern Broly. You know, in my opinion, it doesn't matter. I enjoy them both. Like, I enjoy this one more better. Like, so, like, this one's pretty good. And then all of a sudden, you know what? Might as well get the other one out. With, you know, which matches both of them together with Gogeta. It's like, ooh, dang. So, yeah, a beautiful, beautiful Gogeta. And then you put them both together, and man, it makes such a hell of a design. Like, my goal is to get the matchmakers, but only certain ones. But yeah, this one, these are so beautiful. And of course, we gotta do one of the greatest. My daughter loves this. My daughter loves this. This is her favorite form of Goku. Is, you know, Super Saiyan 3. She loves Super Saiyan 3. You know, this is her favorite. And it's fine. I love how this model comes out. It's so perfect. It's beautiful. It's heavy. Out of all of them, like the Broly one is a little bit light. But this one's a little heavy. But this one is, I think it's the hair that makes it a lot heavier than the other ones. Because it is heavy as can be. But look at that beautiful thing. Beautiful, beautiful design. So yeah. Look at that. So beautiful. All right, let's continue on with the final part of this collection. So yeah, stay tuned. There will be more updates down the line. So, but yeah, yeah, let's do this. So here we go. We're gonna do the books. I don't read the books are okay, but like my daughter loves certain ones, so we kind of skip a lot. Like she loves Z, she loves the Pilaf one, the Emperor Pilaf one, so she loves the original, Dragon Ball story. But then she likes certain ones that she doesn't. She loves this, and then the next one because she loves this one. But it goes into like the 21st tournament. But she's only interested in the Pilaf story, which she's literally listened to it multiple times, and she loves it. But yeah, it's good that she loves Z, but she also loves, she's good that she loves the original Dragon Ball, because it is fun, but only up to the Emperor Pilaf. And then she skips and goes right into, Piccolo Jr. versus the Goku. So pretty much the 23rd tournament going from there. So yeah, the 23rd tournament is one of her other favorites that she likes and enjoys. But yeah. And it goes into the 23rd tournament, which she loves. Like, I remember, we finished this so fast. And which is so cool because on Kakarot, which I have, but it's digital, she loved, the tournament so much. Like she loves Z, but she loves like this one. I kind of like she loves the tournament stage, of that. Like she meeting Chi-Chi again as older. It's her favorite. She love this one. And yeah. These are the only Dragon Ball books I have. The rest are all Z. Well, a couple of Super. Alright, let's continue on. Volume 1, the big thick one. Raditz into the Super Saiyan Saga. This is pretty much going into the Super Saiyan Saga. Then we get into, which is the best one. People it's the first time you meet Vegeta and Nappa. The gang's all bad, the true, protagonist. This is where a lot of people start. I mean, in a way, if you do, it could happen, but if you ever do start with it, cause I said, I showed my daughter, she was really interested at the time when I started going back to watching. It was in the Tournament of Power, where she was just like, whoa, she was really getting into it. Watching the tournament because she saw these girls And the finally she's like, whoa, what are these? And it's so cool. So she got really intrigued with it and loving it. And yeah. And then we're continuing on, and that's one thing. Then we're continuing on, the ending of the ending of it, and continue at the beginning of the cells of the Ginyu Force series, going into Frieza conquering Namek. Really good part of the series, and yeah, I admit her favorite character. I mean, at the time, I remember she loved, obviously, Goku, but her favorite character was Frieza. But she only saw, she loved golden Frieza at the time. But when I showed her this one, she was really liking it. Next one is a different version of it. This is still like from the, a different version of it, which is colorized, which I found, which was so cool. And I said, that's so cool. But it's going into all the different stories. We're still in the Ginyu Force series, but it is continuing on telling the story from Frieza's point of view and changing and transforming multiple times and all this stuff. And it's just, the colors of this thing is just so amazing. But yeah. It's like really, really, really good. I admit. Then we go back into the other ones. We're going into Frieza. The continuing the final form where Goku finally turns Super Saiyan for the first time. And it's just epic battles of everything going on. It's just one of those things in this story that it's just like, whoa. That's the thing about it. It's just like, whoa, man, this is so crazy of what's going on. This is like probably like what people call it the golden moment of Dragon Ball, And it's true. It is definitely the golden moment of Dragon Ball. 100%. Because there's just, the epic battle between Frieza and Goku, and the first time Goku turning Super Saiyan is just like, whoa, man. It's iconic. I mean, there's multiple iconics. There's like the stare down of Vegeta and Goku for the first time during that, which is obviously another iconic moment. I would say Super Saiyan 3 is an iconic moment as well. I don't know how else to describe. A lot of references. Like, there's so many, like, the emotion of Vegeta throughout the series becoming this badass, and then, like, in reality, he probably still is this ultimate badass, but it's just, look at how just gorgeous this is, story going on. And then we get into the Trunks saga, heading to, to the Android saga, which is so pretty good. Like, and then we're like, yeah, the Android saga. Yeah. Continuing on. It's like what we call Android or the Terminator, like Android 18. My daughter loves Android 18 because I kind of felt like there's not a lot of like female warriors or female fighters in there in this thing. So to have her, when she saw like Android 18, was just like, wow, this is so cool. And then we're just like into the Cell games, the hyperbolic time chamber, Vegeta being cocky and all this stuff. Just trying to be his normal cockiness self. Yeah. And then, continuing on where we are. Like, we're literally on the Cell games right now. And so, yeah, just great. We got some of the greatest moments ever. The Cell games had some really dumb stuff. People are like, oh man, they should have done it this way. It could have been this way. Like, who knows how it could have been, what if, Cell, like, what if Cell become, what if Krillin was just like, you know what, but yeah, really, like, when you're in love, man, you're in love, even if it's the enemy and all this stuff, you're gonna do some stuff, and Vegeta being his cockiness. Yes, 100%. Vegeta, if Vegeta would have killed Cell, probably would have been a great moment for Vegeta fans and all this stuff. Who knows if he would have just, he wanted to be his cocky self as usual, but that's why people love him, because no matter what, he has that cockiness. And yeah, like, who knows if he could have won. Yes, the idea of yes, Goku saying like, oh, he should let his kid come out there and beat Cell, but you have to realize that Gohan is the most powerfulest person ever of all of them. No, they can say like, oh, Jiren is Frieza Black. Well, there's one image of Frieza Black. Who knows? We'll find out whenever. We don't know when that arc is gonna happen. There's more powerful people, but like in reality, it's like damn well that look at this. Like, especially once he gets into the Ultra Beast, he's the most powerful thing. Like, this is his most powerful form, and yeah. Can't wait for to see how it goes. If they're gonna continue on, like in a way, it kind of finishes up, but you could still squeeze a little bit in there. That Goku Black arc could fit right in there. Getting final form. Maybe Vegeta finally, like, I don't know, like, hear me out. Should Vegeta actually finally defeat Frieza? Am I wrong? It's like, yeah, you give the glory to Goku, all this stuff. You give the glory to all this stuff. Like, give Vegeta his that. Because in reality, he seems more from home because he grew up on his planet that Frieza destroyed. Like, could he actually defeat, like, him? Like, let's do that arc where it's just like, yeah, obviously get Goku his charm, get Goku in there and all this stuff, and just like, you know what? I can't beat it. And just to see, something about the continue, like some emotion that the Goku is finally being that he could not beat Frieza Black. I'm just saying that could not beat him, right? Get that straight, get that anger and going. Like all this honor saying that you were that Goku could not be defeated, and Goku kind of like you could. This is the thing about this is like you could tell that Goku or Vegeta has this potential that he loves him, but he's not gonna show it. That he loves Goku. They are friends, 100%. Yes, they might be rivals, but they're also friends, and you can tell that throughout the whole thing. But give him that moment, like he defeats Broly. He defeats Goku Black defeats Ultimate Broly, which people are saying that's not fair. Like no, you got to do this to give him that his farewell shine, because he was there on Vegeta, planet Vegeta. He saw the fear of of Frieza there. He saw that his father had to be and all scared of these people. It's just like no, he needs to have that the thing with Goku Black at the end of let Goku Black, or not Goku, but Frieza Black, let Vegeta beat Frieza Black. Like all the Saiyans are down, Ultimate Gohan's down, Super Saiyan Ultimate, which is Goku's from, Ultimate fucking Broly, gone. The fuse, no, they said nah, we're not gonna do the fuse. It's like this is his shine. Yes, this is his moment. This is Frieza's. This is Vegeta's moment to do it. And I would say fans would love it 100% to finish off the whole, you could continue it on all this stuff, but I feel like the Frieza Black arc will be the final form, the final nail in it. And to be honest, it can keep going on, continuing on afterwards. Continue on. You could still do that past, make your own after, what is it, after Grandpa Goku. Like even if Goku is a grandpa and all this stuff, continue that on. You could still make it for another 20, 30, 40 years. Keep that shit going. But give Vegeta his glory. And I'm sorry if I'm rambling on because I still got a couple more things. There's not as many, but yeah, let's continue on the books. And yeah, I got something else to show because I just got an email that showed up. So yeah, Um, Dragon Ball Super. My favorite character is Trunks. I love Trunks, but man, the older I'm getting, like I'm really getting like Bardock is like getting up to be my favorite character. I think Bardock has a cool story and all this stuff. I love, hear me out. The modern version of the Bardock has this kind of thing to him where he has this kind of sense to him. But then again, you look at certain things to him and you're just like, especially when he was trying to, save his planet, and he had like the red bandana. I'm like, where'd you get that? No, that's from your fallen comrades from when they died, and he had that bloody bandana on him, and I was just like, it turned red, and I was just like, that's your fallen comrades, you know. Bardock, in my opinion, is just love it, and I love the idea of Kakarot having, to play the Bardock tale, which is so cool. Yeah, Bardock is a huge fan of mine. I can go on for hours talking about Bardock, man. It's just like, yeah, he's a son of Goku, but it's just like, his backstory is kind of interesting and kind of different. But yeah, the recent one before, there's still one more book. I got this and I'm like, man, this is his first superheroes from the Cell Max and all this stuff, and I can't wait for the next books. I already pre-ordered it. It'll be here next month, so I look forward to that when I get it. I will show off, add it to the collection. But yeah, dude, there's so much stuff, and I can be rambling on sometimes. But yeah, we have one more thing, and it's actually gonna be an unboxing. So showing the collection. Oh yeah, I got this one too. Orange Piccolo mini in a pop. Yeah, I like that. But yeah, I will get the next thing, and I'll be right back. All right. So we're gonna do an unboxing. There's so much stuff right here, and this is Matchmaker. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Dang, and this is such an iconic moment. Like the Cell games, to me are like, I grew up loving the Cell games. The Cell games, in my opinion, probably are the best series of that stuff because that's what I grew up with, watching. It's just so fun, and I remember just going into stores. Like I like to tell a lot of people tell me, like, man, I looked at myself and I'm like. People were like, because people were like, man, because I don't know if they just had Toonami and all that stuff. They would just watch it on Cartoon Network and all that stuff. But did they not like have like back in the day they had the mom and pop shops which had the the VHSs, and I would tell people that I'm like, didn't you guys like go to the place like mom and pop shops, mom and pop shop video stores and all that stuff to rent these movies and rent the video VHSs and all that stuff. And a lot of people were just like, what? It's just like, I looked at it and I'm like, no way that a lot of you didn't. I'm like, you're Dragon Ball fans. I mean, I don't know the situation of all of them, but I would tell the people like, we could only get watch up to, I think, it was always the Frieza, like the beginning of Frieza and going into Namek, and then we'd like go back, and I would sit to them and I go, but didn't you guys, I don't know if I don't think it was spoiled or not, but I'm like, my parents loved watching movies and all that stuff, so we would go to these mom and pop stores, we would go to Blockbuster, and they would have, the movies to rent. So that's why I was just like, huh, I don't know. It's just like, I always tell them, I'm like, what? I'm just like, didn't your parents like rent them or stuff like that? Couldn't you rent stuff? I mean, I don't know their situation. They could have been like, no. Or maybe at the time they didn't have it, or maybe when they were really getting into it, they was always sold out. I mean, I honestly don't know. Like, I can't complain to them because my situation is different than theirs. And it's like, we went to movie stores all the time. We got to watch movies all the time. My dad my parents used to work at a company called Technicolor. So I don't know if that helped a lot. That, you know, they would, like, my dad would come home and have like a catalog of movies, and it was just like, hey, which one would you want to get? I don't know. Maybe I was a little spoiled. I don't know, but it's just, I don't know. It's how does this, like, maybe in their area they didn't have it, all that stuff. But I'm like, this was like in the 90s. It was like peak when Dragon Ball was airing all the time. It was like getting, you know, obviously Dragon Ball was always popular, but like in America, it seemed like in the 90s it was getting really popular. So I do not know that situation. But like everyone looked at me strange. I'm just like, but didn't you guys like rent them or so? I don't know how that works out, you know. But nowadays everything's just, you can just stream it on anything. They got Crunchyroll, so you're in luck. But I'm like, was a lot of this necessary and stuff like that? I mean, I don't know. I like, to be honest, I really don't know how this shit. But like back on trapping, I was just like, I love, the Cell Saga. My heart still do. Growing up, having a family, like my daughter and my wife, they love the Boo Saga, and it's really good. People are like, oh no, just like people hated it, just like that. I'm just like, no, like it's fun. Like my daughter made a whole movie, and people have seen it. My daughter made a whole movie of what if, like to be honest, if like would people have loved it if it goes back to that olden style of how the original Dragon Ball ended. Like I think people would love that. Like had the villain there, have the Supreme Kai there, have all this stuff there, have Vegeta and them fighting and all that stuff, and then make it out like, yes, they still have to fight in the first round. Let Vegeta, let Goku win the first match. Get that thing, but then give make it out like they have all of them. Have all of them there, like have all of them compete, and to tell this great story of like have son versus father at the end, and then the final villain. The final villain is like you got to have a final villain and have Boo there, just to have him there, just the final boss, and have Goku versus Boo, and then have that tournament sailing, obviously win, but like have Goku do this thing where it explodes him and blows him up, and then the DNA can like fall into people, but like something about it connects with Vegeta, and it makes like this huge impact, and it just like he turns into Majin Vegeta, which would still have been cool on that tournament. And they just had this epic battle on the time. Like, would people actually watch that more than or would people watch that and love that more than actually how it came out? Because to be honest, I felt like they were just stretching it out too long. It just seemed too long that even if they blew him up, it was just like he would still be alive. And then when they figured out, like, oh, there's more to it, he was still alive. Like, I kind of feel like they could have blew him up, but I get it. Like, they want, when you make a series or when you make a story, I'm not the creators of mine. I'm just somebody that is just like, what if, like my daughter made something completely different and not telling them the main story, because that's cool. It's just like, why copy something when you can make your own? Like, yes, the originals are good and all this stuff, but make your own story out of it. And yeah, but continuing on. The Cell games are amazing, and yeah, these, man, look at this. I'm kind of a little disappointed in some. Like the thing about some of the figures, man, is some of them look really good, or like some of them are a lot bigger. I don't know if it's just like some of them look a lot bigger, but they have to be like that sometimes. But yeah, the Cell games, in my opinion, are like the best ever. It just has so many iconic moments, The one, like, yes, there are some bad moments, but but you have to realize that Gohan, man, he's the ultimate warrior, man. You know that. Everybody knows that. And it's just like, man, look at how beautiful this is. I have no idea where this is going to stand. Like, look at how beautiful. Does it connect? Where does it connect into? I think it's like that, I guess. I'll figure it out later, but like, you got some of the greatest moments. And like, yeah, it'd be cool probably having, his dad right there and like make that pose and just like have his dad right there next to him, just going, do that. Have that moment just like now with both of them on there, and then, have Cell there. I might do that. I might put both of these right next to each other and have that, because isn't that such a cool, display of both of them? Like, telling him like now as he's in the background as he's gonna fight Cell for the last time. This would be cool, but yeah, this would be cool. I don't know why that looks so cool that I might have both of him in the background, Goku in the background as he's doing this, and then have the other one with Cell once it shows up. But Cell will show up. I know it's not, but I have more collections on the way. There's gonna be a lot more updates. This was a bigger one, so each one will probably be a lot smaller. Unless you want me to do an add-on telling stories. Yes, I was in between telling stories and what is it, but like yeah. Dragon Ball is just one of the greatest shows ever. Don't get me wrong, there are some better ones, but like, choose what you want. I I don't mind animated films and anime and all that stuff, but it was more towards the films, towards movies and all that stuff. Like, there's some really great animated films that are really good. There's a couple OVAs, like in my opinion, my heart, my favorite show, my favorite anime of all time is Gundam. I love Gundam to death. Gundam doesn't feel like it doesn't get as much love as Dragon Ball. Yes, they got the model kits and all that. They have it and they have stuff, but I feel like, which is cool. They have some stuff of Gundam, but not as big as Dragon Ball. But let's see, Gundam's been around since the 70s. Dragon Ball has been around since the early 80s, 84. So yeah, who knows? But I said it's more fun. But I feel like this is like a stuff that my family, that we love. But we love Dragon Ball. All of us love Dragon Ball, and it's fun. So yeah, stay tuned for some more stuff. Probably some more Dragon Ball videos. I have some. I'm working on some more Dragon Ball videos. Stay tuned for some more videos that I'm making. Yeah, it's gonna be fun in this summertime. So hopefully you enjoy. Like I said, my content is not as big as you want, but I enjoy making it. Like, I enjoy just sitting in front of a camera, talking and having fun. That's the one thing about it. It's just like, I don't care about subscribers or all that stuff. I like to just have fun. Movie making has always been my passion. And, to make stuff like this is fun to make. Because, yeah, like I said, YouTube making is more like a hobby to me. Like, I have a good job. I work a pretty good job. Like, all my family works pretty good jobs. I live a pretty good life. But this is something that I do when I'm bored and I got nothing really to do. And I like to show off, my stuff and say like, hey, check this out. And that's the one thing, like, we need to bring back collection videos. We need to bring those back. Those are the ones that I love. Like, back in the day, like, we need to bring those collection people back. Like, let's start doing it. Let's bring back collection. Even if you're new and you have stuff that you love, show that. Who cares if you're not going to be good? Nobody's good. I make it because I'm fine. It's fun. So, yeah. By the way, thank you for talking. Thank you for being here for almost an hour. And we're up to almost an hour. About 45 minutes of talking. And yeah, but there's a lot to go on. But yeah. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Stay tuned for more stuff down the lines. Have a great day. Bye. Bye. Hey, bye. Bye. That looks so cool, man. Like, man, it's not gonna be like a moment. Just like once I get Cell, man, you're gonna. I'm still continuing talking on. But like, man, once I get Cell, man, that's gonna look so cool. I'll figure out how to stand. I feel like, yeah. And then have that in the background. It's just like how cool that is. You're just like, go. And you just have them right there in the background. You just tell them, do it. As you just see this beautiful, I'm trying to see if I can show the face. I'll figure it out later, but just like having them both right there. This is a really horrible angle. Like, just telling them, like, cheering them on, they go for it. I feel like I'm gonna have it like that. I don't know. Maybe like that. Anyway, thank you for watching. Yeah. Bye.